The trip to Darvisburg was uneventful. My mind was still buzzing. Uncle Bill, the old lady at Denny's, and the crazy old hobo I once got in a fight with were all ex-CIA. Just another day in the apocalypse, right? Well, not the apocalypse, but... oh, fuck it. Who knew anymore? There was no telling just what the Shulvanti had planned for Earth. I was snapped out of my reverie by Uncle Bill. If I know Max, it'll probably take some convincing. You stay back till I tell you it's safe. We turned down Ayahuasca Street. Let's see, I muttered. Humanitas? Tryptamine? Steroid Way? Sure enough, the creepy-ass homeless guy in the army jacket sat slumped against the wall, smoking. I did what Uncle Bill said, and waited as he got out and walked up to the guy. What the? So you alien cunts have come for me too, huh? The guy, ostensibly Max, reached in his coat and pulled out a shotgun. I could hear Uncle Bill sigh from here. Then he yanked the gun out of Max's hands and slugged the butt into his face. Max went down like an old homeless guy. Fuck's sake, Max! It's me, Bill! The homeless guy lay in the grass. Ah, yes! I knew a Bill once! I'd love to see him again! Uncle Bill looked over at me and shrugged. I got out. Ah, yes! And this must be your boy! Please don't think I'm crazy. That was a little hard. I need to pretend to be, so the lizard people don't know I'm onto them. Ah, Uncle Bill muttered. So a different kind of crazy then. Perhaps everybody's crazy, Max said. Oh, this nonsense about aliens! We didn't even need words to decide that Max the murder hobo was a bust. Uncle Bill and I got back in the truck, leaving Max to lay in the grass, rambling about how everyone was terrified of the big purple aliens, when they should be scared of the lizardmen from under the earth. Alright, who's next? I buckled up as Uncle Bill started the truck. That'll be Daniel Boone. We're heading up into the mountains. Huh, cool. That was a long freaking drive. 3 hours or so. Those mountain roads were horrific. Mind if we stop for lunch along the way? We just ate at Denny's. You know how it is. When you doped up on ketamine, it's disassociative, right? I lean back in the seat. So, you don't feel how hungry you are. I spent a whole day in the vet's office on that stuff. Checkmate, non-drug people. In conclusion, Denny's was my first time eating in 24 hours. I need to get some gas anyways. We'll stop at the highs. You run in and get us some snacks. After a second he added, get me some jerky. The peppered kind. Got it. Think they still take money? Hell if I know. Uncle Bill turned on the radio and tuned it to 98 Rock. Amelia was talking about all the concerts that the Shulvanti had cancelled, and the bands they'd arrested for encouraging rebellion. Petty bunch of bitches, aren't they? I mused, as Uncle Bill drove down the street. What the hell is this? Agent Elicicia snapped, as she watched the events of the helmet cam unfold. You told me you had contained the violence from the hospital incident. Well, Agent Elicicia. It gave Rishi no small amount of sadistic pleasure to refer to the agent here by her first name. The smug, holier-than-thou, wiped right off her face. It seems a new incident has popped up. One involving your Special Tasks Group. Baroness Damanitos had given Elicicia Sommerstar a number of her private militia to search for her daughter. What did you call me? The interior agent snapped a second time. Do you know who I am? You heard me, Rishi calmly said, as she reviewed the footage again. For the record, I do know who you are. An errand girl for nobles, with dreams of being just like them, Elicicia. Sledlicker. Sommerstar sat down and started watching the footage. Bitch. Rishi decided to change the subject. See that here? Your girl definitely provoked them. She watched intently. Fuck you think you're doing? Defacing a transport? The soldier, Mela, if Rishi remembered correctly here, had caught a couple teenagers spray painting a local train. Wasn't doing anything, let me go! The kid struggled and fought against the large purple arm gripping him by the throat. The other two ran for it. Then what's this? Mela cocked her head to the spray can on the ground. That! An obscene word followed by the shill had been sprayed onto a boxcar. I didn't do that, the teen yelled. You saw, there were 3 of us. And yet you're the one I caught, Mela snarled. Tough balls, kid. I'm too pissed to give a pile of Turok shit. Goddamn planet of whores and sluts, she muttered. And they won't give it up at all. Hey! A voice yelled from the screen. Mela's head snapped to the side as a rock slid by it. The kid's friends had returned, with a few more adults. Some of them had guns, others were throwing rocks. The kid ran for it as Mela threw her arms over her head. Murderers, someone yelled. Baby killer, someone else yelled. Rapist. Mela turned around once again, just in time to see a fist come up from below and collide with her face. Out of the corner of her eye, Rishi could see Somerstar wince. She paused the video. I saw that. Of course you did. The girl just got knocked down by a male. A male who barely comes up to her chest. Rishi started the video again. Mela was still on the ground, and now the large bald male stood over her. You aliens think you could just waltz in here and have your way? He stopped, and the transmission ended. And now the natives are gathering outside our compound, Somerstar observed. Obviously. Look, the natives are primitive, yes, but they aren't stupid, and they're pissed off, and they know that enough pissed off people are going to break through our fences. Rishi rested her head on her hands. I keep saying, we try being nicer. Yeah, like that ever works. Somerstar poured herself a glass of water. Just bomb the stupid apes. You know what your problem is? Rishi could feel her anger just bubbling up. You think like a noble. You're detached. You appeal to force. You don't consider how things are on the ground. To use an outdated term, you use the fist. Rishi Kosmonos was, of course, referring to the 2 schools of thought in military doctrine that governed pacifying worlds. The closed fist, and the open hand, set out by the great general, Daemona Atropos herself. The former was the use of fear. Bomb the shit out of them, raid their villages, and just scare the ever-loving fuck out of your new subjects. Then threaten to do it again unless they bow to their new sky goddesses. Rishi preferred the latter. She believed that there was a place for the fist, but it was always better as a last resort. Instead, show the natives how good their life would be if they just joined the empire, and everyone would be happy. She liked to think of it as bringing civilization to savages. Of course, the current caste of nobles thought of the hand as little more than giving out presents. And, okay, fair. It was more cost-intensive than, just say, bombing the shit out of everything, though it was much better in the long run. Few of the large and in charge ever thought about the long run, though. I don't think being nice to everyone is going to help us here, Somerstar remarked snidely. Rishi peered out the window once again. She and her garrison had set up shop at the tiny airfield in Carroll County. The former runway was unrecognizable now. In its place was a garden of prefab buildings and impromptu roads. Rishi herself had set up an office in the old control tower. There was no need for it anymore. Everything was automated now, so Rishi had given the control tower a new use. From her perch, she could see the commotion outside the fence. A transport craft landed on the roof, obscuring Rishi's view. Time to get suited up. Rishi pulled out a large case and laid it on the table. Unlike the interior, I don't lead from the back. Rishi enjoyed the grumble Somerstar gave her. And I don't run for it before bombing a place from orbit either. Rishi got suited up as she joined the last of her girls coming back in from a mission. Sorry to throw you back into the shit so quick, she said, as the girls secured their helmets once again. A few of our guests kicked the Valas nest. We have a riot in our hands. She made her way down the stairs and across the tarmac to the armory building. The airport armory just wasn't big enough for Rishi's garrison. In times of emergency, it was theoretically possible to requisition equipment without going through the official procedure. In practice, it involved taking a fusion cutter and cutting open the lock. Rishi and all her subordinates all grabbed riot shields and las guns, set to a lower setting of course. Hurt, not maim or kill. Some technology, it seemed, never changed. Humans used chemical irritants, while Shilvanti riot control used gas that caused intense fear, but still, chemicals were chemicals. Rishi and company all hopped into a transport that drove them over to the far side. Soon as they disembarked, she saw things falling towards them. "Incoming!" she yelled. Everyone crouched under their shields as rocks and crude firebombs rained down around them. Eventually, they formed into two lines. The front all crouched behind their shields and blocked debris from hitting the back line. The back line fired gas shells into the mob. Once the rest of the rioters got the message and shrunk back, Rishi got on the speakers. Standard procedure was to follow every action taken during a riot with a request to disperse. The idea was never to hurt the rioters, it was to stop the riot, where possible, of course. "I am Captain Rishi, of the 104th Peripheral Battalion," she said. "You are to cease your actions immediately and return to your homes. Otherwise, I will be authorized to use the full force at my disposal." She couldn't even get out the last word before she was interrupted by a shriek and a tremendous bang. Rishi had heard about the celebratory explosives the natives used during some holidays, but she wasn't sure Memorial Day was one of them, though. She didn't have time to dwell on that, though. The rioters were launching volleys of fireworks out the back of trucks. Multicolored explosions going off all around you could be crazy disorienting. Rishi saw one of her girls take a crude rocket to the stomach. She quickly disappeared into the mob. Rishi didn't have high hopes of ever seeing her again. After a while, the nice orderly lines dissolved under the onslaught of rocks and fireworks and Molotovs. Rishi crouched behind an overturned baggage loader with her stun stick swapped for her lasgun. She took aim at what she guessed were the ringleaders. Then she heard Somerstar's voice in her helmet. "Turok 7, this is actual. Order 12. Repeat. Order 12. That wasn't good. Order 12 was the order to evacuate for an orbital strike. In the midst of combat. Everyone retreated where they could. The transports came for the rest. Where they could. Some people were just fucked. "What the fuck, Somerstar?" "Relax, Cosmonos." Rishi got on the mic. "Everyone rioting down there. I've just called down an orbital strike. You have 5 minutes to cease your unlawful activity and... what is it you humans say? GTFO? If you leave, you will face no repercussions. Starting now. 4:59. They were about 2.5 minutes in when one of the militia women, Rishi wasn't sure who, flipped her shit and got on the mic. "Ladybird, this is Turox 22. Confirm the strike. Activation code 019028. She sounded panicked. "Oh shit!" Somerstar pulled her gun and blew the girl's head off while Rishi got on the mic. "Cancel the strike! Cancel the..." Somerstar joined her. "Turox actual to Ladybird. Negate the previous order. Negate the strike..." But it was too late. She watched from the cabin as a streak of light shot from above, illuminating the clouds. She knew exactly what was happening down below, though she'd never seen it from this close. The blast shredded flesh from bones and flattened anything standing. It reverberated into the ground, liquefying the concrete and rock and dirt and throwing it way into the air. There was even a bit of sonoluminescence. It was blinding. Rishi always expected a bang, but it was called deafening for a reason. Rather, she felt it, as a thump deep in her chest. Carroll County Airport was a crater. Not even a smoking one. Holy shit. The Baroness ordered more measures be taken. I delivered. Somerstar was strangely calm. Rishi suspected it was shock. This wasn't supposed to happen. For once, Rishi didn't have a snide comment. We are so fucked.